Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. This is my review, my spoiler-free review of the brand new fan film Never Hike Alone 2. Yes, this is the sequel to Never Hike Alone, which was released on YouTube in 2017. And it was I think you could really call it one of the most groundbreaking fan films ever made for the Friday the 13th franchise. It brought back fan favorite character Tommy Jarvis, once again played by Thom Matthews from Friday the 13th Part 6. Who also before that had also done his, I think it was around the same time that he was doing his voiceover and giving his likeness to the video game. And because he hasn't been in any more films as the character, which is a shame because I really like his portrayal of the character in Part 6. And there has been a few films in the Never Hike Alone series since the original. We also have a prequel called Never Hike in the Snow, which also features Tommy Jarvis, played once again by Thom Matthews, and brings back, for the first time in so long, one of my favorite, more minor characters, I guess you could call him, in the franchise from Part 6, Deputy Rick Cologne, who at this point in these fan films is now Sheriff Cologne. And if you don't remember who Officer Cologne is, this chucklefuck. Yes, that's man. He became, at some point, became sheriff of Wessex County, and he, very suspicious of Tommy in Never Hike in the Snow. And he is played by Vincent Guastafaro, and he reunites once again with Thom Matthews as Tommy Jarvis in Never Hike Alone 2. They're also joined by what was his name? Douglas Tate. He also played. Douglas Tate is in the cast also as an officer. He's also the film also brings back the surviving character from Never Hike Alone, the hiker who hiked alone. He's back as we all would have expected him to be back for the sequel, and we get a lot of, I think you could call this pretty good gore for a fan film. It's got some very graphic moments, and for it being a fan film for a film for the Friday the 13th series, yes, you would expect it to be graphic. Jason is not delicate with his kills. He will murder you in a way most foul. And Jason, as in the other two installments, is played by Vincent DeSanti, but also in this film, he's also played by Brian Forrest. So it's more of a shared role. I don't know how much of Brian Forrest's role is of Jason in this film, but it's a dual role with Vincent DeSanti and Brian Forrest as the character Jason Voorhees. And we're not just at Crystal Lake this time. We're also at a hospital. That's all I'll say in terms of spoilers. There's also a hospital involved at some point. But if you've seen the first installments in the Never Hike Alone series, then you'll understand why there's a hospital at some point, because, you know, it's important for the person. And as always, Sheriff Rick Cologne, very suspicious of Tommy Jarvis, does not believe him when he says that Jason is back. Oh my god, Jason Voorhees has returned, because when he was Deputy Cologne, I don't think he ever saw Jason in Part 6. So as far as he was concerned, Jason does not exist. And if he even thought he did exist, he's long dead. Always been dead. Been dead since Tommy Jarvis killed him when he was 12 years old in Part 4. When the character was played by Corey Feldman. And so we have Tommy here, who's now a paramedic. He's dealing with the sheriff, who doesn't believe him, thinks he's mentally unstable, and thinks he's lost his fucking mind. And so we have to have that going along, which is so predictable in horror films, where, the person of authority doesn't believe the person who saw the thing, doesn't think the thing is real, thinks the person who saw the thing is crazy, yada, 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 bing, bada, boom. But I mean, it's a phenomenal fan film. I'm so proud of how it looks. Never Hike Alone was like 53 minutes long, and it did a lot in those 53 minutes. Less than an hour, it did so much. Never Hike in the Snow was just over half an hour long, and it does a lot in that just being a little over half an hour long. The filming is phenomenal. The acting is phenomenal. The effects and the props used phenomenal. The locations are wonderfully accurate to to make you think that they're there where they're supposed to be. I'll untangle my tongue in a moment. Bleh. And I mean, Womp Stomp Films never fails to put out a good fan film, or even when it comes to just short films. They've also done a few independent short films that aren't, just as far as I know, tied to any well-known franchise or IP. And they know what they're doing when it comes to directing, producing, casting, and filming. They know exactly what they're doing. And that's why when I first saw Never Hike Alone when it first came out, I was blown away by how wonderful this looks for a fan film. And then I was really excited when they announced the prequel, Never Hike in the Snow, which takes place 6 months before the events of the main story. And seeing Jason in the snow, that was beautiful. It was wonderful. It's like magic. And then when they announced that they were finally doing a sequel, now originally this was supposed to be like a 3-part thing going on when it came to a follow-up to the first installment. But then the world went to shit, things happened, and we got everything in one film. And Never Hike in the Snow, Never Hike Alone 2 it falls 2 seconds shy of being an hour and 13 minutes long, so it's about 20 minutes longer than Never Hike Alone. And in these additional 20 minutes, they do a lot. You get a lot going on with Tommy, a lot going on with the sheriff. You have a lot going on with all the other characters or surviving characters from the first film, and all the side characters. Everyone plays a part. Everyone is important at some point in time. And in my opinion, without giving away really anything, at least I don't think I am, this film, Never Hike Alone 2, is a perfect concluding chapter to the Tommy Jarvis storyline when it comes to Friday the 13th. Now, if they ever do decide to make a new film in the franchise and they want to bring him back and bring the character back and something that's technically canon, but until then, in my opinion, Never Hike Alone storyline is canon because it takes place sometime after part 6. It's the thing that's where it takes place because everything that happens with the characters stuff, it takes place at least sometime after part 6. And if this is where we last see Tommy Jarvis and Thom Mathews in the role, I think this was a great concluding chapter. I think it wrapped up things perfectly. I think Thom Mathews gave it everything he had to the character. He knows how to play this character. He played the character great in part 6, and this trilogy, he's played it so well. So this has been my spoiler-free review, because it's a spoiler-free review. I'm reviewing a film without giving you any real details, so it doesn't ruin your viewing experience if you haven't seen it yet, but you're watching this horribly sounding, cringy-looking video. Because I'm a horrible talker. I'm a great writer, horrible talker. But yet I do community theater. Oh, it says a lot, actually. But I hope you all enjoyed this. It's just my little review. We're coming in about 9.5 minutes into the recording, but I give this 10 out of 10 in terms of fan films. And Womp Stomp Films, once again, did not disappoint me. And I'm so happy that I was able to be a financial backer for this film during its Indiegogo campaign. I'm so proud of the people behind it, the actors and the crew for the filming, the directing, the producing, everything. And I can't wait to see what they do going forward on their channel in regards to more short films, possibly more fan films, maybe some other own independent feature-length films that aren't tied to any IPs or ongoing theatrical franchises. Because the people who do these films on the budget that they have, which is absolutely a shoestring budget, because we're going on less than what they had for Halloween 1978. And what they're able to accomplish with such a small amount of money in their budget is phenomenal. And I think they have a lot going. There's a lot of potential for them going forward, and I cannot wait to see what else they put out. So thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this as much as you possibly could. There's a moth in my apartment. Get away from here. And I'll see you all next time. Cheers.